Good evening. It's Fresh Life. Um, I got to touch on some few things. I've been thinking while I'm outside on my deck, just pondering. I didn't even really try to look up any more Ravens related news today, but I just stumbled on some things, and I want these pundits to stop walking the fence, stand for something, or don't say anything at all. A lot concern is Well, a lot to do with my concern is you have Kyler Murray to get his contract. Good. I wish all my brothers to get their money. I want them all to get their money. My only thing is, okay, you're cool with the Cardinals giving Kyler Murray their money, right? Well, his money. Well, I said their money because he has an agent, Lamar doesn't. So their money, because the agent's working for him, was giving Lamar his money. People that's the real Ravens fan know Bashadi don't care about mingling with the day-to-day business, and he even said it on Marlon Humphrey's podcast, Studio 44. He said he doesn't really mingle with the day-to-day Ravens business. He's not Jerry Jones. He's not some of these other like GMs. That's why he has, owners. That's why he has a GM. He only had two GMs, I believe, in the Ravens' whole existence. Two. Um, Here's the thing. DeCasa likes to play Moneyball. And in case people listening don't know what Moneyball is, Moneyball is a term used by baseball. Well, it came derived from baseball pundits. Their philosophy is, we're not going to spend a whole bunch of money on superstars. We're going homegrown. Either we're going homegrown more talent, or we're going to get people that's a collective of people that's pretty good, that could be role players to build our team. We're not going to overspend for players. Sometimes when you get once in a generational talent, you don't have a choice. The Ravens' choice is sign Lamar now. You wait for later franchise tag. He's going to be worth $60 million. So you just do it now. You waited. You waited. Because for real, you could have offered him $44,000, probably $40,000 the end of last season. You hope, we'll just give him 35. He's not taking that. You would have did it last season. Before last season, you should have did it. After that 2019 year, you should have said, hey, come on, we're going to extend you now. Let's talk about get something rolling. You should have offered that 35 then. Not at the end of 2020. The price then went up. And after you seen that, no. Because if you draft, you may get someone that has that potential that he already exhibit. You may not. You may get a Josh Rosen. Okay? If you go try to get a free agent, you get Teddy. He can't run that offense. And that's enough. I'm gonna get to that point in a minute. Who you gonna get? Who you gonna get? Tyrod Taylor can't run that offense. He's good. I always liked this game. But it's a little too late for that. Who you gonna get is gonna win the amount of games that he get? There's nobody in the league that's going to give you that clip. There's nobody that's going to give you that. So you Huntley start. You, all right, and then you got dummies, even dummy Ravens fans. Let's let him go. He's too much. We can't sign other people. The Ravens never, when they had opportunity, they wasn't going to sign no superstar wide receiver. Not the ones that's in their prime. Not ones that's in their prime. Anquan Bolden and Steve Smith were players that was coming down from their prime. They was past their prime, but they had a lot of juice left. A lot of heart. That they was still going to play at a Pro Bowl level, but they wasn't in their prime. Steve Smith prime was in his in Carolina days, and they blew that with Cam. And then him and Cam, they didn't really see eye and stuff. They got the respect now, but it was like, that's a whole different story. Okay. Bowling, his prime was used, because really they should have drafted him, but that's another story. So his prime was used up in Arizona, but Bowling gave it 100% all the time. So he still was gonna produce. It wasn't gonna be like Sammy Walker's type deal. No, he was. That was disappointing to me. I expected a lot from him. I was disappointed. I knew he was gonna be injured. That's just what it is. And I think getting Julio would be great, but he gets banged up too much to really. You couldn't depend on him. He should be a body, third down body, when you need within the lineup, depending on who you playing. So we never had that. So to say, okay, who you gonna put? Huntley is not gonna replace that. We will be last place in the AFC North if we do that. It's an arms race now. So if you're not gonna get the receivers, if you're a homegrown, now Pittsburgh don't have to spend the money because they can develop A+ receivers. They could just develop. Steelers know how to draft and develop A1 receivers. Okay? Cincinnati know how to draft real good receivers. Like real good, they when you used to be in for a lot of years, doghouse of the NFL, for the bottom feeders, you're gonna have opportunities to get talent. But even that, they know how to a little bit like train these receivers, develop them, give them what they need. They was great on receivers and tight ends too. They great on drafting good players. But all the better no, a lot of Cincinnati's receivers they draft, they first, second, third rounders. They're not like Santonio Holmes, Antonio Brown, like later draft picks and turn into superstars. Let me see who else. Hans Ward, Juju Smith. Like they get these dudes in the third, fourth, fifth round, and they turn into stars in the league. They just got an eye for it. We don't have that reputation. We could draft a nobody from nobody's school and make them into a premier defensive player or even a tight end, but receiver no. So if you're not going to do that, get him, surround him, then you need somebody that can win by any means necessary. And Lamar is the best person that we're going to win any means necessary. Regardless. So he's similar to Allen Iverson or Kobe. I would say if Michael Vick was Allen Iverson of the NFL, then Lamar is Kobe of the NFL. He has a killer instinct. He wins a lot with less talent around him. So if you're not going to give him the talent, you might as well just pay the man. You got to pay him. You have to pay him. Because if not, Deshaun Watson will probably play next year. I don't know what, but they still got Deshaun Watson. You got to respect that man's game. Is he better than Lamar? I'm going to say no. You said better passer to football, but that's subjective. He paid out of necessity. Texas had no run game to speak of. That's why you're going to pass for 5,000 yards and all that. When you 4-12, I'm not impressed by that. He did more. And he had D-Hop. He still didn't do all that. But with Lamar, the only reason they're making that one deal out of winning one playoff game with Lamar, because they want to be right about him, about what they said about him when he came out. They want to be right so bad. Because that means he symbolizes, okay, so Terrell Pryor, we should have just let him be quarterback. Gave him the chance. Some of these players go to these bad teams and they don't know how to coach them along to be great. They destroyed Vince Young. Vince Young was the second coming of Warren Moon. Randall Cunningham. Vince Young single-handedly beat USC. I saw it with my own eyes. That's one of the top 3 best football games I've seen in my entire life. 2 NFL, 1 college. I haven't seen a college game better than that Vince Young game against USC. I'm just being wrong. The second, Lamar, when he threw 5 touchdowns in that Rams game, he could have probably had 8 touchdowns if they left him in the game. He did what he wanted to do on that field against Aaron Donald. So I don't want to hear anytime the Ravens play the Rams, Aaron Donald got... Lamar does what he wants to do. When the best people on the field, Lamar plays his best football. Is he perfect? No, but he's 25 years old. When the last 2 seasons in playoff, I saw Patrick Mahomes look foolish on the football field. Foolish. That pass rush the kid was coming. He was throwing interceptions and ducks and looking foolish too. So don't give Lamar because of that Miami game. When your line not blocking, they'll make everybody look foolish. Last 2 years, Patrick Mahomes looked foolish. They shut down his best players. He looked foolish. Well, I guess we're not seeing the same games. And Patrick Mahomes had a streak of 4 or 5 bad games this past season before it started to turn it around. How you gonna make a big deal out of 4 interceptions in Lamar case? In that Cleveland game, he still won the game. He still made the integral play at the end of the game to win the game. You had Tom Brady threw multiple times when he had 4 interceptions in a game. All right, so why does Lamar get penalized for once that happened? It's asinine, man. Like, if you don't want him to represent the NFL, just say it. But these pundits with all the bullshit they say, it's not, it's not gonna fly, man. It's not gonna fly. I'm not defending it, man. I don't know. I just recently found out he was a relative of mine. I don't know. So I'm going by what I see. And the thing is that I never seen someone so disrespected. And all he do is win. I kind of feel like in that sense they treat him like a lot of people treat LeBron. And I'm guilty of it. LeBron, yeah, for a long time, great basketball player in the world. Was he perfect? No. But he has a killer instinct when you could turn it on and off. But most part, he's not a me person. He's a we person. Lamar's a we person, but as a quarterback, you have more control. You always touching the ball, so if okay, y'all not gonna get open, I'm gonna get these yards. The object of football is keep advancing the football. So my receiver not getting open, and I know I can get that first down. Why not get it? Like your narratives is old and tired. I don't want to hear year 1, 2 narrative and year 5. We got not gonna do that, cause he already outdone your given expiration date. Y'all say he wouldn't last 2 years. Second year MVP. He's going 5th year. I'm gonna tell you something. You got to take 2020 with a grain of salt. He was sick the whole season. I had COVID. I had COVID pretty bad. COVID is still affecting me now. And it's been 2 years. Almost. Yeah, 2 years. It affected me bad. It still does. And it probably going to forever. I guess, I don't know, in some capacity. But, people manage. So you can't count that. He didn't look himself 2020. 2021, then he caught it again. By the time he got his bearings, you're not going to have all your strength. Not going to have all you win. For a while. And he's a top superior athlete. That affects. That'll affect you. Big time. Now, he went and added the weight. Powerful stiff. I want to see that stiff arm, man. It's going to be a mean stiff arm. And he's got bigger and faster. You guys got to stop that, man. You guys, and then people want to debate me. Well, he's 1-3, yeah, 25. So what was Peyton Manning's excuse? 27, 28 years old for he won a playoff game. Like 29 for one first Super Bowl. So what are we talking about, Chief? What are we talking about? Matthew Stafford played 11, 12 seasons in the NFL. They put him on an all-star team and he won the Super Bowl. Now, is he better than the last QB the Rams have? Yeah, certainly. But he's just a lower budget version of Brett Favre, gunslinger, but he's gonna throw you picks. They got him the Rams. Put Lamar on the Rams. They won't lose the game for the next 10 years. Put Lamar on the Rams. That defense, he's gonna get you first down and give him Cooper Kupp, give him OBJ. Come on, man. Come on. Now, put Matthew Stafford on the Ravens. Put any of all these quarterbacks on the Ravens. With that line, Tom Brady is only going to be successful with a line. So they kept him out. Awesome line. Put him with an awesome line. He going to do his thing. Without no line, He's mincemeat. It's curtain. I just want y'all to tell the truth, man. If you don't like somebody, that's cool. There's players that's dope that I don't like. I don't like their game. That doesn't mean they're not good. They might be great. Josh Allen, I love Josh Allen's game, but he's a vanilla Cam Newton. Watch how he play and watch how Cam Newton play. Put them side by side. A lot of these smartphones now has picture in picture, and watch they do the same stuff. He had way more rushing touchdowns than Lamar. So who's really the running quarterback? Does that make Tyler Moore have more rushing touchdowns than Lamar? So who's really the running quarterback? Kyler Murray has a losing record overall. Whether it get better every year, okay. What they do in the NFC will not fly in the AFC for the last 5 years. Not gonna be 9-8 and 8-8 and getting a 1 seed or getting a good seed in the playoffs. That's not gonna fly AFC. See, a lot of being in the NFC is saving a lot of these teams and getting them in the playoffs. But it's not the caliber. It's only like 5 good teams in the NFC. The AFC has about 13 good teams. They got 9 Super Bowl contenders or playoff that could go deep in the playoff. They got 9. Got 13 that could make a playoffs at any given moment. Well, let me take that back. Because it's on 32 teams. They got 9 good teams. That's almost half. That's like they got 9 good teams. And then some of the teams that be to the bottom, like they're not that far off. But we need to stop this stuff about bashing Lamar. If you don't like him, it's fine. Say you don't like him. I'm tired of being on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube debating people. They have no facts. They can't pull up any facts. That's just on opinion. And I can tell you don't watch any Ravens games. Because you off. Yeah, 1-3, yeah. But can and then you say, well, he got injured 2 seasons in a row. Yeah, it's not injuries on his behalf. He wouldn't have rolled that ankle this year if J.K. Dobbins didn't. I'm not J.K. Dobbins. Whoever was in the game, that running back missed that block. It was one of the guards, and then the last one, the running back just ran right past defensive lineman who rolled Lamar ankle up. He was supposed to block that. He was supposed to wait and block that. And then the year before the playoffs, and then the playoff situation, McCarr threw that errant height, that ball, that errant height into the end zone, caused that I can't get it out because that was just that's the one play I did see because I was at work and couldn't really get good reception, and it was a Saturday. That was crazy all by itself, and he get a concussion for that. Okay, yeah, he threw a pick, but how many touchdowns Hollywood dropped before that? How many key plays they dropped? Because J.K. dropped the key pass yards. So you keep putting it on the quarterback, but how much you gonna do? The line wasn't holding up. Winning line wasn't holding up, and Josh Allen played a terrible game too. So that pick six actually helped them in their favor. You do certain things when you're in certain positions of the game. Okay? If Huntley was remotely as nice as Lamar, if we didn't have Huntley, we had Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor would have performed better in those games. Tyrod Taylor would at least won 2-3 games and got us in the playoffs. And that's counting the game. We probably wouldn't even need a last second 2-point conversion. But Tyrod is a baller. Like Huntley mid game is great. His deep ball sucks, bro. Deep ball sucks. No one wants to talk about that. Huntley's from South Florida. He got wild hair. Wow, Huntley, what it is, you're dark skinned. I went through it in my life, and I'm educated, just like Lamar. All these guys are educated. Do you ever stop and think Lamar might have paid attention in college? He's not just a dumb jock. Might pay attention in college. What kind of college courses did Lamar take? And that one little exam, you're only going to know the answers to a lot of those questions if you've been exposed to that. Some of these people been to private schools and they've been quarterbacks since high school. So they had coaches and stuff that people in their corner that exposed them to that because they know. Lamar didn't have none of that. He had his own little team and he just got off of talent. God-given talent. That's it. Not going to do well on those. Me. SAT, I knew I wasn't going to do as great as ACT. It's all about what you're exposed to. All right. Then when I got in college, for the most part, I was on the dean list. They don't say that these tests, man, if you're not exposed to taking them or get taught the ways of how to take them and how to absorb the information, you're not going to do well. But that doesn't mean you're not intelligent. You know? So, yeah, it's a lot being said. Y'all got to put respect in the name. And I feel sorry for y'all. I feel sorry for you. Cause this dude gonna ball and you gonna be like, wow, yo, what did just happen? Yeah, it happened. You done messed with the wrong dude. Lamar usually don't even respond to people. But he respond to Bernard Pollard. And that's another thing. Where is these former Ravens that come out there and defend Lamar? I didn't see Ed Reed defend him. Ed Reed should have said something. He fed him in the past. He even told Bernard to cool it on trying to attack him. Shannon Sharp cooning. All these guys cooning for what? For what? What is this going to cost you? For Fox to still let you go at the end of the day. End of the day. You cooning just like Fat Boy. What's his name? He was cooning hard. And now he has his own podcast cooning. I forgot his name, but you already know he was on Fox. Who Marcellus Wiley replaced. Speak for Yourself. That's what it is. He was on Speak for Yourself. Like, this stuff got to stop because the dude's a baller, man. You don't win 76% in your games and not know how to throw the football. Tim Tebow was an athlete, but he sucked as a quarterback. Okay? He wasn't going to win 76% of his game. Like, y'all need to stop that. He can't throw outside of the numbers. When there's a 15-minute video showing that he's throwing outside of his numbers. bombs away. Come on, man. You gotta do better. Gotta do better. You putting Hollywood leaving on Lamar. That wasn't his. Hollywood been disgruntled with their offense just like any other Ravens fan for the last 4 years. Because it's not receiver friendly. But guess what? I mean, it works. They just need to throw it. They don't need to be like, they can still be run first, but you just throwing it. This thing is, it's not creative. Cliff Kingsbury offenses are creative. Has to be creative because Hollywood is small. Can't expect him to block these dudes, blocking linebackers and blocking slot corners and all this other stuff. And them dudes are bigger than him. I mean, and he's not. I'm going to be honest. They drafted Hollywood because Lamar wanted Hollywood. But Hollywood was really Raven material. You want to know who's Ravens material? AJ Brown. That was Ravens material. DK Metcalf, Ravens material. Physical receivers. Hollywood's not a physical receiver. Why would you draft someone that's the opposite of what you draft on defense? When we had Ray Lewis, okay? Anquan Bolden was a offensive version of Ray Lewis. Even Derek Mason was an offensive version of Ray Lewis. Physical slot receiver versus physical middle linebacker. Like, you was drafting people that's not physical. We just need to do better. No, when he won the Super Bowl this year, so it'll shut a lot of people up. And guess what? It's not going to shut people up because they're still going to say what they're going to say. They're going to keep moving the goalposts till he retires. He could be first ballot Hall of Famer, and they're going to say, well, they're going to make excuses. And people just got their perception in their mind because the perception is their reality. But the real reality is the dude is a stud and he's a winner. And that's our quarterback. Put some respect on Lamar Demetrius Jackson name. Please.